Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm Josh Strife Hayes, and today we're looking at the top 10 worst MMORPGs you can still play in 2020. Recently, we looked at the top 10 best MMORPGs, polished, expansive games that are worthy of your time and money. Now we're going all the way to the other end of the scale and seeing what virtual worlds should be avoided, what games just aren't worth the hard drive space. Remember, I'm completely independent and not sponsored by anyone. My channel is fully supported by you guys, so if you could like the vid, click the sub button and ring the bell, I'd much appreciate it. Now, a dead MMO is one thing. It's a shame to lose something you love and never be able to go back, but these 10 games are suffering a fate worse than death: stagnation. They're still ticking along, and if you really want to, you can go and play them right now, but you'll be met with awful optimization, huge paywalls, and empty worlds. It's super important to mention, if you like or play these games, you're not wrong for enjoying them. Smaller games often have intensely passionate player bases and lackluster developers, so it's not the player's fault. I played 2 of them myself, but if a friend asks you what MMORPG they should start playing in 2020, these are the ones you need to avoid. They're not all bad, but with so many high-quality MMORPGs on the market, they just can't compete. So let's take a look at the top 10 worst MMORPGs you can still play in 2020. Number 10. Fly for Fun. Abbreviated to Fliff, this is a Korean MMORPG set in the fantastical land of Madrigal with a cute anime art style. The colours are bold, the weapons are exaggerated, and the enemies look like something straight out of an 80s adventure cartoon. It doesn't look awful, but it's definitely past its prime. The first concern is, if you visit the official Fliff website, it's not even considered secure. The top news posts are all about the in-game cash shop, and it's quickly apparent it's heavily focused on microtransactions. The game does not cater to casual players at all. To reach the highest level and equip the best gear, you'll be looking at a several hundred-hour time sink. You can, of course, buy the XP boosters and reduce this time significantly. There are private servers offering the original classic experience, and they seem to be proving more popular than the official live version. If you're looking for a casual or inexpensive MMO, avoid Fliff. Number 9. Anarchy Online. Regular viewers may know I'm working on a documentary chronicling the entire history of the MMORPG genre. It's called Our Virtual World, A History of the MMORPG. It's free on my channel if you're interested. While researching Anarchy Online, I discovered this game may be the very first MMORPG to have an absolutely terrible launch. Most of the major problems that happened to a game at launch can be traced back to this game. Laggy servers, slow customer support, broken account creation. Advertised as the sci-fi MMO, it released in a disastrous state and players quickly dropped it. Even the gaming press slated the awful day one experience. Those kind of things can damage a game so badly it never recovers, and that's definitely the case here. It's not dead or dying, it's just limping along on life support. There are only 2 active servers, and despite having a loving player base, the game's owning company Funcom seems to have lost the love for it. Number 8. Warhammer 40k Eternal Crusade. I love Warhammer 40k. The art style, the setting, the lore, everything about it appeals to me. As a kid, I wanted to be a space marine, and now as a bigger kid, I grew up, matured, and realised I actually wanted to be an inquisitor. So when Games Workshop announced a 40k MMORPG, I was hyped. But as we all know, the hype train never ever goes where we think it's going to go. Eternal Crusade allows you to experience the 41st millennium, and there is only war. Or there would be if there were people to war against. This game has awesome graphics, a decent upgrade system, and super awesome lore. The only thing it's missing is players. While the game is played through its own launcher, it's also available on Steam, and the Steam player charts show a max player count of just under 3,000 4 years ago and just under 200 a month ago. Maybe the war was over, everyone died, and the Tyranids finally won. Number 7. Conquer Online. I researched the hell out of these games before I list them, and if you type in Conquer Online player base to Google, the first result is a forum post titled "Why on earth do people still play this game?" So, not the best start. Conquer Online is a Chinese isometric MMORPG. The graphics are a cross between Baldur's Gate and Age of Empires 2 Chinese faction, although I think using two such fantastic games to describe Conquer Online is an insult to both of those games. Gameplay is heavily focused on martial arts and PvP. You're able to kill other players and loot them once they're dead. Full loot PvP never ever works, and this is another example of how it's continued to never ever work. Imagine Diablo 2 but fully online, fully PvP, and bad. That's Conquer Online. Number 6. Allods Online. This game is a sequel to the offline game Rage of Mages, which is a fantastic title, and I'm upset they didn't go with Mage Rage Online. I feel that's a missed opportunity. Allods Online is a World of Warcraft clone. It released in 2011, 7 years after World of Warcraft, and managed to be somehow worse in every way. The world graphics are acceptable but bland, combat is tab target and slow, and the character models are so generic I'd forgotten what they looked like as soon as I'd finished making this video. When it was released in the West, it was free to play and didn't have a subscription, but it made up for it with the absolutely extortionate cash shop. Every time you die in Allods Online, you incur heavy, permanent penalties, but you could spend real money to prevent or remove these penalties. Eventually, these items were removed from the cash shop, but the damage was done, and now you have no reason whatsoever to play this game. Number 5. Tree of Savior. That's not a typo, it's not Tree of Savior, it's Tree of Savior. Another top-down isometric, this time from Korea. This game is based on Lithuanian mythology, no doubt an interesting area of study, but not exactly oozing mass appeal. The game is now available on Steam, and a quick scroll through these Steam reviews paints a grim picture. The ultra-expensive founder pack, optimization problems, excessive microtransactions, and a lack of developer care for the Steam version means player count tops out at just over 3,000. Not a bad number by any means, but with a high amount of those being bots, you're going to be talking to yourself most of the time. Plus, a cheat engine hack brought in an absolute ton of money to the game, and no rollback ever happened, leaving the economy in a total shambles. Credit where credit is due though, the artwork around the game is absolutely gorgeous. Number 4. Adventure Quest Worlds. Oh god, I hate to do this, I can't lie to you, I love Adventure Quest Worlds. I was an original Adventure Quest Guardian, I bought a Dragon Amulet on Dragon Fable, and I was a day one founder on Adventure Quest Worlds. I've even got the achievement to prove it, but if someone asked me, should they play Adventure Quest Worlds, well, I'd be torn. One part of me would start crying and begging them, yes, good God, yes, finally somebody to play with. The other part would hang my head in shame and say, no, don't. Adventure Quest Worlds is the 2.5D side-scrolling online version of the classic Flash game. It's actually still coded in Flash, which means when Flash is finally killed, which is coming soon, you'll have to download the Artix Games launcher to continue playing. It's graphically gorgeous, I love the oversized weapons and multiple character classes, and really damn good storyline, the pun-filled, tongue-in-cheek writing, and the reversal of fantasy tropes. But all that being said, it's not a good 2020 MMO. Most players are AFK standing in Yulgar's Inn. It's technically free, but you won't get very far without a membership, and with membership costing the same as an old school RuneScape membership, it doesn't quite offer enough. It's a relic of a bygone time, and since Artix Entertainment made Adventure Quest 3D, they've been funneling more money into that, and I can't blame them. Gotta move with the times, and 2.5D Flash-based online games aren't exactly the future. That being said, if you do play this game, please let me know in the comments, I would love to adventure with you. Number 3. Runes of Magic. This is another nail in my heart, but I have to be honest. I made a video called The World's Most Underrated MMORPG, and I absolutely stand by that video. This game is underrated as hell and has some absolutely brilliant design and gameplay choices that make it a hell of a lot of fun to play. That being said, should you start playing it? Probably not. It's basically a World of Warcraft clone with a few awesome additions, like every enemy dropping its collectible card, and each card giving tiny bonuses when you have them, a triple class combination system, very good dungeon design. It does everything so damn well. It even has a song by Van Canto called Magic Taboria, and I really like this song. But after a few years, the servers merged together, old characters were deleted, and I lost my maxed mage with rare black Pegasus. All deleted, all my time and spent money was lost. Now the cash shop is even more invasive. The rarest upgrade items need red crystals, and you can only get red crystals by spending diamonds, and you have to buy diamonds with real money, making red crystals super expensive. It's looked after by Gameforge, which explains a lot, and despite being available on Steam, only maxes out at just over 300 players. If you do like this game, I'm right there with you. I still love it, but I have to admit, it's not one for new players to play in 2020. Number 2, Rift. Probably the highest profile game on this list. When it released back in 2011, Rift was a serious contender in the MMORPG world. It released to critical praise. Developing company Trion announced it had over 1 million registered players within a year. It even managed to reach a Metacritic score of 84 out of 100, which is pretty damn good. IGN even called Rift the most bug-free and out-of-the-gate high-quality MMORPG ever created. Rift was about rifts in space and time being torn open and monsters flooding into our world, which is a pretty good plot for an MMORPG to have. You can imagine the dynamic events a system like that could lead to, so what on earth happened? Well, honestly, just time. The MMORPG world moves quickly, and if you're not keeping up, then you're lagging behind. Rift received 4 major expansions over its lifetime, the last one in July of 2017. Each one brought more items, weapons and areas to explore, but it just wasn't enough. The updates were too few and far between, the polish was lacking, and Trion were grasping for money any way they could, which rubbed the players up the wrong way. The monthly sub was eventually dropped and replaced with an optional paid VIP status, but nothing quite worked. It's still online. I even downloaded it and played it for a day a while back. The opening mission sees you fighting off an alien invasion and then being teleported to the past, but it all felt copied. Like everything I was doing had been done before, better by other games. After several hours of play, I had no reason to continue, which was a shame because Rift at one point was good, but now it's not really worth your time. And number 1, Star Citizen. I can already feel the comments filling with hate and rage, so before we discuss this, let me explain something. The sunk cost fallacy is a psychological phenomenon where once a person has spent time, money or effort on something, be that another person, a project or an idea, they've become increasingly unwilling to leave that thing, claiming if they leave, the stuff they've already spent on it is wasted. It's why people play games long past disliking them, and why people keep out-of-date but useless things they've fixed multiple times. It's the sunk cost. In 2013, gaming company Cloud Imperium Games managed to monetize the sunk cost fallacy better than anyone ever had with their upcoming game, Star Citizen. A Kickstarter campaign raised almost $2 million and development began. It was advertised as a first-person sci-fi MMORPG, allowing you to explore a vast galaxy in multiple spaceships, each different and each fully customizable. You'd be able to live out your sci-fi life you've always wanted and play the game your way, from mining asteroids to raiding other ships. To fund the game, which still isn't out by the way, the developers have been selling access to various ships. You can visit the Pledge store on the website and buy the rights to use a specific ship provided the game ever actually, comes out. And these ships are not cheap. In fact, if you had $2,500 spare, you could have bought the Javelin, the largest and most powerful ship available. And I say had, because all 200 Javelins that were available have been sold. Star Citizen has been in development for years and years and years and has absolutely no confirmed release date. At this rate, it will make more money never being released. This game that's raised millions upon millions of dollars and is still selling access to content that may not ever exist is still pulling people in. And the sunk cost fallacy is in full swing as its defenders cry out that one day they will have a game to play. So if you have a few $1,000s and a few 100 hours spare, please subscribe to every other MMO out there and don't throw your money away at a game which doesn't even have a release date. Thanks for watching. If you agree or disagree or you feel I missed a game, let me know in the comments below. Drop a like on the video or sub to the channel if you'd like more MMORPG content, and remember to ring the bell so you get all the latest videos. A massive thank you to all my supporters on Patreon who make all my videos possible. Cheers for your time, and as always, have a great day.